Hi everyone. I purchased this kit. It's called a No Sew Throw kit. I'm sure you've seen plenty of them if you go to Joann's or even Michael's or maybe even Walmart. It's a two-piece fleece blanket kit that you end up tying the edges, and I thought I'd show you how that works in case you've never done it before. I'm not associated with any of these stores, just a disclaimer, but I bought this to use as a Christmas present for a 1-year-old great-grandson of mine, actually. And we will be starting out by cutting the corners. So what it comes with, this one happens to be a 48 by 60 inch polyester anti-pill fleece, and there's two prints, so there's a front and a back, so they're showing you the front and then the back. This one is super cute. Look at all the cute little cars, and I thought it'd be fun on the floor, then he could sort of, trace the lines and learn about cars, use little cars on it. So that's one side. The other side has the stoplights on it. I thought it was really an interesting little project to do, so I will lay it out and we will get right to it. Okay, one thing I wanted to mention is that you need to put the backs together so that when it flips over you have the right side on each side. And this has a very obvious front and back side. See, it says beep, and there's some other words on here too. Go. So when you flip it over, you would see it backwards, and you know that that's definitely the wrong side. So you don't want to see that side up. So I will have to put it this way, and then on this stoplight fabric, it's really hard to tell, but one side is more faded out and fuzzier than the other side. This side looks nice and crisp, so that will be my outside also. So I'm going to take the two and put them backs together and clip them all the way around, and then I'll show you the next step that they tell you to do in the instructions. Be right back. Okay, I've gone all the way around, and I shook out the fabric and made sure that they were lined up correctly on the shorter side and the longer side. Have my right sides out, the sides I want to see, so I can still read it. So that's the right side out, and this side I chose because it was darker and it looks clearer. The picture looks clearer. And so I just lined them up, clipped them together so that I can hold them together while I'm working on it. And the fabric they don't always cut them exactly the same. They're not probably cut out at the same time, so they put two of them together. Don't worry about that. It's very stretchy. This material it's fleece. It's very stretchy, so it's a very forgiving project. The next step we need to do is find your directions. You flip it over. It has this particular one. Sorry, let's get it there. There we go. This particular one has it in English and in Spanish. And what they're saying is that you need scissors or a rotary cutter. Here's a rotary cutter. So I'm going to use a brand new one because I have a really nice blade on there. And a mat ruler. So this is a mat ruler. Something like this. It's kind of thick. It's hard. This particular one works great because it's only 1 inch wide. And what we're going to be doing is when you come down here, you're going to cut, let me come back in here, cut 5 inches into 1 inch intervals all the way around on all 4 sides of both layers. So what we're going to start with is we're going to place the fleece layers wrong sides together, which I've done, which also means right sides out. Cut 5-inch squares out of both pieces of fleece at each corner. Now that sounds kind of weird if you haven't done this before, but you'll see what happens when you do that. So once you've cut out on the corner, so you're going to have a corner here. Here, let's bring my corner down. It makes sense. Here we go. So we're going to be cutting a 5-inch square, and that'll go away. And then from here on, we're going to cut 1-inch strips that are 5 inches long, all the way down to the other corner. Every corner you're going to cut out. So then you're going to do 1-inch strips this way and all the way around on every every 4 sides. The 4 corners get cut out, and then strips are cut. Once you get the strips cut, all you do is tie the front and the back strips together in a knot. And that'll show on this picture here. See how it shows you the little knots? It doesn't seem to make sense at first to cut out that corner, but you'll see what we mean in a minute. So let me get this laid out and ready to go, and we will cut out our corners. Okay guys, I'm back. I'm trying a new camera stand and it does bounce a little, and I apologize for that, but hopefully I can get through this part and then I'll show you what's coming up next. Now, one very important safety concern with these cutters is they're extremely harmful to you or your kids or anybody else that's around them. Be very, very cautious with them. This has a sliding cover. You push it down and you pull it back, which exposes the cutter. Okay, so push on it and pull it up. If you ever set these down, you always close them before you set them down, and keep them away from you. Don't ever leave them this direction or anywhere near the edge where somebody might grab it, like a little one might come by. They're very, you need to be very, very cautious with these. But that being said, they're wonderful tools for those that need to cut fabric. So what we're going to do right now, I'm going to leave this closed and leave it setting. I'm going to put it way over here. These are the 2 corners on one of the edges. We need to count 5 up, 5 inches up, and 5 inches over. So these squares are all 1 inch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So on this line right here, I need to cut across to meet up with the 5 down here. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is the edge we're going to cut along. And if I line it up with that side there, and then I'm going to be coming over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's this line right here. And I can actually take my tool, line it up right there so I don't lose my corner here. Now, if you have a 5-inch square ruler, you'd probably do a lot better than what I'm doing right now. But this is where I'm going to end up. So and if you have cutting gloves, that's a good idea also. You want to cut away from yourself. Let's see, how far did I get? That's just about right. See right there? Now, close, set it down. Okay, and then we're going to put this guy right where it needs to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to cut right along here, and you do everything you can to keep your fingers away from getting cut. Now, if it's off just a tad, it's okay. This fabric is close, put aside. Now, that's a 5-inch square off the corner. Now, each corner you're going to do that on. All right, so that's 2 pieces. Save these for some other project. You can sew them together and make a cute little patchwork later on. Okay, now I'm just going to start this to show you what the idea is. 1 inch. Let's see if I can get my little thing to remind me don't go too far. These cutters are 1 inch wide. And so I'm going to be cutting a strip that goes up to 5 inches here, and then move it over here, move it over, or you start at the other end, and so you can go this way so you can cut. So we can do this with scissors also. Here, let's try this with scissors. It's a little easier to do. These are only 1 inch wide, remember? Here, let me move this up again. Whoa, it's bouncing, I'm sorry. Now this is only blanket, so don't be totally concerned if you don't cut these exactly. They will be just fine. Here, I'll move it down so it looks like it's on the line right there. Sorry, I'm fussing so much. Okay, we want 1 inch strips. So we're going to go. There's one. There's two. So see if it's a little off. Don't worry about it. You're going to tie a knot. There's another one. So the main thing is to figure out where this 5 inches up here. And you can take a piece of masking tape and put it down, or regular tape. What happened to my regular tape? I had some that was right here a minute ago. Just plain old tape, and put some tape along here, and you'll know how far up to go. And then you just keep cutting these all the way up to the other square on the other corner. When you get to the end and get all of these strips ready to go, I'll show you how to tie the knot. Okay, I'll show you another way to cut the corners out. Take a piece of paper, an old cereal box, any kind of cardboard like paper. This is just cardstock. And mark it at 5 inches by 5 inches. So we've got, let's start on this end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's the number 5. I'll put my thumb on number 5. And there. And I marked it here. There. Marked it here. And now we're going to use my very huge looking square. I'm just going to draw a line. I got this at a yard sale, so figured I can use it for sewing too. It's more for an outdoor project. Okay, so this is a 5 inch square, so you could just say 5 inch square, and then use some scissors, not your good fabric scissors, but paper cutting scissors. Cut out your square. Okay. There. Now, you can set this square on the corner. Make sure your materials are lined up nice and neat. Okay. This edge likes to roll up, but don't be too concerned about that. Okay, so this is a 5 inch square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Double check. Okay, now I'll just use that and some scissors instead of the rotary cutter. And just, well, actually, I need to go back to my fabric scissors, don't I? Oh well, we'll use these for now. These are actually my paper cutting scissors. That's why they're not cutting too good. Oh. Okay. Save your square. You might need it for something else, and save these for another project. I'm going to use the square on the another corner. So now my 5 inch corner is complete. Try not to overcut here. I'm going to trim that little piece. See how I did that? I'm just going to trim a little bit. There. Now I can continue on and do my 5-inch cuts after I put some tape down. And we're going to go through this again. Here's some tape. I'm sorry if the camera bounces. It's kind of a strange little holder I have here, but okay, so at 5 inches is about there. Let's double check. 5 is right here. That's 5. Yeah, I could go up a little bit on this side. Just a little. 5, 5. So I'm going to cut up to that edge. And I'm going to cut it on every inch. All the way around. And you've already seen me do this, but I'll cut a couple more. I found my scissors, sorry. That one's a little off, so I'm just going to go that way a little bit on it. Okay. This is the most time-consuming part of this. The knots will go pretty quick once you get settled in a seat and watch TV. You can just knot it right up. And we'll do that in a minute after I get all these cut. Okay, so we're going to go all the way around like that. And like I said before, we're going to meet you at the end when you get them all cut out. But that was a scissor way of cutting the corners. It's probably a little safer and easier to do than using the rotary cutter. So we'll be right back. Okay, I wanted to show you how I'm getting to my, I did the first edge. Now I'm getting into that other corner that we cut the 5-inch square out. That's why that's missing, because we do our last couple 1-inch cuts here. Okay, and then we have one more here. Let's see, where are we? It says I should get 2 more out of there. We'll try. There, and then one more here. See? And now you have that. So when you tie this knot and you start going up this way and tie this knot, this is your corner now. Okay, so I'm gonna put tape on this side. I'm gonna go all the way around, and we'll meet back up with you. Okay, I'm almost at the very end. I'll move this over just a tad. This is my last corner. This is where I cut it out over here, the square. Now I just wanted to remind you to use your clips to hold on to your stripped edges, because you're going to need to keep it kind of together. If you just pick this up now, it's going to be all over the place. You can probably straighten it out eventually, but it does help a little bit to have those clips on there to hold it together. Okay, we're at the very last cut, right down the middle of this guy. All right, do I have some more? Okay, I got a few more of these, so I want to make sure. Did I have some more in there? I guess that was it. Oops, sorry, it's bouncing. Okay, so now I'm ready to show you how to do the knots. So let me sit down and get this in my lap, and I'll show you how to do it. Okay, now that you have this whole blanket with all these little shaggy ends on it, hopefully you kept the clips on it. It helps a lot. We need to take this tape off before you tie it. It makes it a little easier, so I'm just going to pull it aside for now. Okay, I'm on one of the corners. Here, let me take the clip off. Now, can you see how these go that way and these go that way? Now, the nature of the fabric is that one side's going to be really stretchy and the other side's not so much, because this way is stretchy. If you went this way on this one, it's going to be tight. So it's just the nap of the fabric, or the grain of the fabric. So don't be too concerned with that either. Doesn't matter if you go this way or that way or how you do your knots. I like to just do an overhand knot. So I just stick my like 2 fingers under here and I go over, and then I go through the back. And while my fingers are in it, I hold it down and kind of pull on it so that the knot stays close to the fabric here. Sometimes when you do it, the knot ends up down here. Just sort of, loosen it up and then bring it back up to this edge. So this is all I do. Just go, since this is a stretchy side, it makes it a little easier. Go around. And I just kind of split my fingers and then kind of go like between them and up. So all it is just an overhand knot. And just pull it snug up. See how that came out a little far away? It's because I'm trying to do this looking through the camera. And I didn't do what I just told you I do. You're supposed to. Okay, let me undo that. Over. Once you find a knot that works for you, you get in a rhythm and it works real well. So you just kind of hold on to it and make sure it stays snug up against your blanket. So there's 2 of them. And then, now if you want to, some people like to do a one of these knots where you just cross it over, and then you left over right, right over left. And if you want to do those kind of knots, you can. I think they're kind of all over the place. These seem to stay in their spot. These are like everywhere, but you can do it whatever way you feel you'd like to do it. Now I need to take this one out. Okay, here we go. All right, so what I'm just going to do is my overhand knot. Now, if you want the dark fabric, the back fabric on the top, I think you need to go, instead of going around your fingers this way, if you go around your fingers this way, it's a little unnatural for me to do that. And then you hold it as you pull it. It didn't really make a difference. It really didn't make that big of a difference. There's, it just, once you start going, stay doing the same thing all the way around and it'll look really nice when you get done. Now when you go up on this other side, it's going to be harder because these pieces don't stretch as well. So just be a little patient with it. Stick it through there. Just make sure you kind of pull on it and make sure it comes all the way up. And they'll look a little shorter than they should, but it all works out. So now you have hundreds more to do. Make sure you take the tape off, of course. Okay, and so we will show you what it looks like when we get done. So have fun tying knots. See you in a little bit. Okay guys, we're done. Yay! How are your hands feeling? It's a lot of knots. Look how cute. That's a cute little blanket. All the knots. So, be proud of yourself. You finished a blanket. Now, they have lots of them there at the stores right now. It's Christmas time. Great time to go pick some up to do later on in the year. For birthday presents or babies or whatever. They're on sale. So, and sometimes right after Christmas you can get them for about half price for the set. It's cheaper than buying the fleece by itself, but you can always do that too. You can pick up say 1.5 yards of each color and do your own. Make your own set. But this is just kind of fun because it's already cut. And they're both the same size, and it's a nice quality fleece. I really like this. It's a nice solid fleece. and it doesn't run when you cut it, which is awesome. So I'm just happy that you followed along with me, and we got to enjoy this together. If you want to see any more projects that I do, please subscribe, and always give a thumbs up if you like the video. Any questions or comments, please do that little down arrow under the video, and you can leave a comment for me. Hopefully something nice. But I appreciate you watching. I know there's a lot of videos out there on YouTube, and I do appreciate you taking the time. I hope you enjoyed this project. Hopefully we'll see you again next time. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.